God created us all special. He created us all with special gifts and abilities and talents. Hee haw. We're all, none of us are average. None of us are, fragile. But, you know what I mean? In a sense, we are fragile, and, you are average unless you, explore the spiritual path. But God did actually gift us with everything within. Everyone, everyone that's not on the spiritual path has gifts and abilities just waiting to be tapped into. If you've been following me, I've been speaking about the spiritual path. I've spoken about the spiritual path, um, I don't know, last month or something. Maybe the start of this month. No, actually not the start of this month, but last month sometime. And so, what the government have been doing is misleading humanity into the fact that, we're all just nothing. You know what I mean? And we're not. You know what I mean? God created us all spiritual beings with spiritual gifts and abilities. And we can all heal, we can all ascend, we can all have superpowers. This is what the government doesn't want anyone knowing. We are all gifted, we all have superpowers, we all have gifts and talents. We can all heal. If you follow me and learn about the spiritual path, you can get on the spiritual path and get closer to God. And that's how you get that's how you get all your gifts and abilities unlocked, is by getting closer to God. The more you get closer to God, whilst being on the spiritual journey and healing yourself and doing everything you need to do, you'll have your gifts and abilities unlocked. But God gave us all these gifts and abilities to use for the betterment of humanity, not to harm humanity, not to harm each other, not to harm yourself, not to harm anyone else, not to harm anything, not to destroy. Hey ho, hey ho, hey ho. The government's been working with evil aliens such as the Archons, who are an invisible alien race who pride themselves on basically invasion of one's privacy and life. You know what I mean? And also trying to control one's life and everyone else around them. And they like to cause conflict in others by basically temporarily latching on to someone and using that someone to target another individual around them. And there are reptilians who siphon off everyone's energy, and they eat flesh and all sorts, and they harm children and do all sorts with children. That's what all this trafficking is, this child trafficking is, and women trafficking. It's wrong. The government's been working with the devil, been the evil ones in power and ruling, that have been in power and ruling for so long, for too long, enslaving humanity and harming humanity. They've been selling their souls to the devil to gain fame and fortune off the expense of stealing and taking and harming from everyone else, from the people, from you, all of you. And it's wrong. I wish I could, express the true energies that I want to express, but I'm healing and I'm going through things. So I'm a little bit I'm a little bit blocked at the moment, but you know, I'm clearing it out. Hey ha. And basically, you know, like these, you know, wicked ones in power have been, you know, targeting the innocent ones for too long. They've been, the government in Australia has been trying to target me all my life. And every state I've been in the last 4 years, I've been in 6 states out of 7 in the last 4 years. And I know the government of Australia, the national government of Australia, is involved in trying to target and take me down. And getting people in all sorts of places like the police, the courts, the lawyers, the security guards, you know, council, you know what I mean? Getting all sorts of people, including the citizens, to harass me, to gang stalk me, to try and assert authority over my life and my existence, which they have no authority and rights to do that over my existence. Oh, because I am here, you know, doing God's work and I am innocent. And I actually outrank them physically and spiritually, so they have no right to even be doing any of this. Nor does the government, nor does the CIA, nor does the American government, nor does Trump, nor does, you know, the banks, the corrupt ones in banks, you know what I mean? The government's been overstepping their boundaries when it comes to the people. I'm not the only one the government has been targeting. The government has actually been targeting everyone. The government targets everyone that is aware of the truth about everything and the lies and their lies and their deception and their manipulations. And the thing is, I know that most of you that aren't fully aware of the truth and what's been going on in what's been going on, you know, throughout humanity's history and on Earth. I'm here to speak the truth, and I'm not here to lie. In the last 4 years, I've been in 6 states of Australia, and everywhere I've been in each of those 6 states, I've been gang stalked, harassed by police, security, council, and citizens in every town, city, and state I've been in. Now, because it's a national government against me, and clearly each state, I'm not even going to go into WA because I know that WA would be doing the same. Hee-haw. You know, the government has designed the system. The government and the police have designed the system and the rules to benefit them and to oppress us. God created free will upon humanity, but he also created sovereignty upon humanity, which means everyone is free. But you have to realize you're free, because humanity has been enslaved for too long. And to realize you've been enslaved is to realize and discover the truth. Now, I've been sharing the truth about, humanity's history and, what happened, and I'll be speaking more about it, throughout, you know, well, my channel is going to stay up for good, because, no one's taking it down. I'm protected by God. I'm doing God's work, and I'm really, here for humanity. And, so, yeah, the government's been fooling everyone. The government's been, having us think that, we need to live this way and, do this and do that, and but really, to be honest, God gifted humanity as spiritual beings. God gifted us as humanity as spiritual beings. We are created as spiritual beings by God. We are, and that's what we're meant to practice, our spirituality. We are already spiritual. We are already a spirit in the flesh. But, practicing, all sorts of, modalities and ways of living, and, just, improving your spirit energy and your physical energy and your soul energy and your mind, your energy, vibration, and frequency, expanding, your chakras, opening up your chakras. We are meditating, doing yoga, but doing yoga actually is beneficial because it clears out stagnant energy and allows, your energy to flow, your full energy to flow, so you feel a lot more better and stronger and healthier. Hee-haw. So that's what's been going on with me, and it's the truth, literally. The government doesn't want humanity waking up to all this truth, and the government doesn't want humanity detaching from the government and living independently, off-grid, living free, living self-sustainable, hoo-ha. And but also, if you want to have people in your life, you got neighbors, or you can have a community, or you know what I mean. You can have a community. You can have, neighbors. You can have, you know what I mean, like however you want it. You know what I mean, like. But that's the thing, like. The government doesn't want anyone living free, and the government doesn't want anyone knowing that they're spiritual beings. They're a spirit, a soul in the flesh, living out this, existence that God created us to live as, live out this existence that He created us, to live out. Well, you get what I'm talking about. Hee-haw. My chest was so tense, so dense. Couldn't get the words out properly. Hee-haw. But yeah, God created us to live a spiritual, magical, enlightened, fun-filled, love and light-filled, healing-filled, healthy filled, you know what I mean? Paradise, heaven on earth. And the government doesn't want us living that. The government wants all of us working 9 to 5, being full of disease, getting, pills and all this bullshit from the big farmers, that, you know what I mean, that really is basically just making people more sick. You know what I mean? Disease cannot exist in a super healthy body. If you practice spirituality, get on the spiritual path and practice spirituality, you will shed all disease. If you keep on practicing spirituality and keep on getting closer to God and keep on having faith that things will work out, and get on spiritual pages on Facebook, and and look up, all sorts of spirituality on YouTube and all sorts, you know what I mean? Learn. Don't just follow me, also learn outside of, my channel. Excuse me. So get on Facebook, get on, scroll on YouTube. because the because the government doesn't want me receiving my inheritance and land and everything, because the government doesn't want to be held accountable and all of them going to jail and all of and the whole government being split up and overthrown. The government knows they're going to be overthrown. They have no right to be doing this anymore. They know that God's stepping in, but they still want to try and target me and take me down. So I'm letting everyone know around the world that every state that I've been in the last 4 years, including the current one I am in, God knows which one I am in, so I'm protected. And even this state that I am in, that I just recently arrived, even there, trying to target me and harass me the same ways. And they have no right, and they know this. And I'm not going to allow them to treat me like shit when, to be honest, they're full of shit. You know what I mean? Hee-haw. Hee-haw. And because I'm humanity's leader, that's why they're trying to all take me out. You know what I mean? And I'm not in fear. I'm just letting the humanity know. My voice is shaky like this, not because I'm in fear, but because I'm still healing. My voice was actually a lot worse than this in the past. Before this year, I can only imagine how it was sounding. But this year also, throughout the healing, it's gotten pretty bad, then good, then bad again. But yeah, because I'm humanity's leader, they're trying to target me and take me out so that humanity has much less of a chance of rising up, because by me standing strong and staying alive and speaking the truth and sharing with humanity what they really need to know, I can talk about me all day every day, but to be honest, I am actually here to talk to humanity about the truth, because the truth sets you free. Hee-haw. And as soon as you realize that what I'm saying is true, that we shouldn't be living a pathetic mundane existence of working 9 to 5, being enslaved, having to do this or do that. Otherwise, if we don't do this or do that, we're going to be punished by the government. You know what I mean? Like police do all sorts of repression and all sorts of manipulative tactics to fucking what I mean, harm and hurt us, and so yeah, I'm here for humanity. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that hear me, that get me. We're all supposed to live the most amazing experience on earth ever. You know what I mean? We're all supposed to be. Oh, I can't really explain it, in words, because the best way to explain it is by living it. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean, like I've sort of, shared upon it, with my words and feelings, but like, yeah, as I said, I can't really express it, because the best way to experience heaven on earth is to live it. Oh, not just, be talking about it, you know what I mean? Like, but, I'm creating my own heaven on earth, that's why I'm, advancing spiritually and working on myself and healing, because I want to experience heaven on earth within, and you have to experience anything on the outside reality. You need, if you want something good in your outside reality, the reality you see with your eyes, observe with your eyes. If you want anything good in life, you've got to be working on you got to be on your spiritual path, and you got to be working on yourself, and you got to be close to God, and you've got to be willing to put in the spiritual effort, the spiritual hard work, the physical hard work, and just be yourself, and you know what I mean, and heal, and you'll get it. You know what I mean. Um, we can create anything we want in reality. The government, and everyone, they all wanted us to believe that, you know, we can't create shit, and that the only way to create shit is by basically getting a piece of wood and getting a hammer and then nailing it. You know what I mean? No, like we can create, that way, but that's just so primitive. You know what I mean? We can actually create magical things in our lives, magical places, magical events, by getting close to God. Pray to God what you want and work for it and wait for it. Not wait, but be patient for it, you know what I mean? Expect it and be patient for it. And when it's time to receive it. Oh, well, be in receiving mode as you're, doing action, as well. You know what I mean? Because you can, be doing things whilst, being in receiving mode at the same time. It's true. I've been doing it. Hee-haw. Like, there are so many people that became Christians, or just decide to go to church anyway, because they wanted to get close to God. They want to find God, and people need to admit to themselves that you struggle to find God in a book like the Bible, even though God's word, some of God's true words are actually in there. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff in there, is pretty much true to God. You know what I mean? But not everything in the Bible is true to God. Some of it is actually the devil's. So you struggle to find the true God, in the Bible, because there's a lot of deception and a lot of, distorted energy throughout the Bible. And you struggle to find God in a church, at church, whilst in church, because they're just basically, reciting over and over the Bible verses. They're not really allowing you to get closer to God. You know what I mean? Because the Bible is confusing, but also has so much distorted energy. When all they're reciting is that confusion and that, I don't get it kind of, energy, you know what I mean? Oh, people struggle to find God. Now, God is actually within us all. God is the spark within us all. A little bright spark of energy, that is a power source, a superpower source. That is God and the Holy Spirit. You can find God in nature, out in nature. You can find God in the messages in the clouds, the beautiful, soft gentleness of the breeze, and that cooling of the breeze, especially when it's a hot day, or when you're sweating and you need to dry off and cool off at the same time. In the creatures that you meet. However, God is also in the kindness and love of others, of other loving, kind human beings. God is the light that shines from people's faces when they're happy. Oh, their smiles, their beautiful eyes, their beautiful cosmic starry eyes, you know? The beautiful soul you see in others' eyes. Hee-haw. God is the beautiful energy you feel from people. God is the starry night sky. Oh. God is a rose bush. Oh. An eagle. Oh. Any sign you see, any message you see in anything. If you drive by something and you see a word that stands out, that is God. Oh. A number that stands out, that is God. Even a letter. Hey. That's part of healing. When I've been through so much in life, like people wouldn't, realize. I don't know if people know how much I've been through in life yet, but yeah, I've been absolutely rattled. Like I'm moving, my fucking both sides of my, face and jaw, because like literally it's so fucking tight and tense. I'm trying to, like soften it up, loosen it up. I've been healing my face a lot, but yeah, still just gets tense every now and then. So yeah, if you get close to God, you can heal much better. You can tap into your spiritual gifts and abilities. You can become stronger, wiser, healthier, happier, freer. And that's what God wants for everyone. God doesn't want everyone to be enslaved by the government. You know what I mean? Why would anyone want to have their life completely restricted and be enslaved and be basically told, well, if you don't work 9 to 5, you don't get money, you can't live at all, you can suffer and die, you know what I mean? When God can actually provide everyone as long as you get on the spiritual path and you learn, grow, evolve, ascend. And it's not like God saying, it's not like God saying, strip yourself of everything and then just go completely, turn completely to God. No. If anyone wanted to leave the government's, the government's hold over them, the government, if people want to be free from the government's chains over their lives, and it's not just the government, it's all the forces that the government's been working with, the CIA, the banks, security, council, the states, cities, towns, the people, all sorts of, corrupt. The military, they're involved, they're corrupt. They've been harming humanity, doing all sorts of experiments on them, and basically, breaking down people's, psyche and fucking, you know what I mean? Breaking their free will, people's free will, doing all sorts of harming, shit to people. You know what I mean? Why do you think, veterans by the end of, their time, in the army or military, whatever, because they've been kicked out, because, to be honest, it is unfair and it's not right, but like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how cruel, the military is. And by the end of it, you see how, wrecked and broken and destroyed these individuals are that, served in the military and the army. It just goes to show the damage that the military do to people. Fuck with people's emotions, mental, psyche, and everything, you know what I mean? And then toss them out like they're nothing. That's what the government does to everyone. The military do it to people. Why can't everyone wake up and see that the government does it to everyone? The big pharma, the pharmacies do it to people. They're giving you absolute shit that actually harms you more, damages you more, makes you more unhealthy, and they're basically, tossing you out the door, once you've, bought that shit, to leave you to die more, you know what I mean, and quicker, you know what I mean? But, they have medicines to make you die slow, actually. Die a slow death. A slow and fucking painful death. They're mad scientists, you know what I mean? They're wicked. Yes, the, big pharma, have, got into, selling, medicinal, but you know what I mean? Like, it should be free for everyone, you know what I mean? Like, it's good that, that's the only good thing that the pharmacies are actually doing, to be honest, and it's helping humanity. I'm not complaining about the big farmers, the pharmacies, selling, medicinal marijuana, because it's actually helping people. So I actually thank them for doing at least that one good service to humanity, because, kindness goes a long way, and they're doing a kind thing. I know that they're actually doing it to get money too, but there are genuine people that do work in that industry, the cannabis industry. There are some actual good people that work in that industry to gift humanity their medicine. And I know, there are so many good people, you know what I mean? And I love those people, you know what I mean? Those are the kind of people that God thanks and loves, you know what I mean? The people that are working in the cannabis industry, that are helping people with medicinal cannabis, they're awesome people. You know what I mean? God would actually, if they want to get close to God, God will literally divinely gift them with a divinely abundant life. I was mucking up my words. God will gift these beautiful, kind-hearted people that, work in the cannabis industry, God will gift them divinely abundant lives because they're doing a good thing for humanity. Hee-haw. Because alcohol is ruining, humanity and, the state of humanity and, causing us to down spiral instead of, ascend. You know what I mean? Ascend spiral. You know what I mean? Oh. And it is a good thing that at least, you know what I mean, the pharma industry has, also, picked up on the supplement in industry. They're also the pharmacies are also selling, supplements to the people, which is good. You know what I mean? They're the two good things that the pharmacies are doing. But everything else, but that's the thing. Humanity needs to learn what is bad for them. They need to learn the truth, wake up and learn what is bad for them and what isn't. Because even though God provides, we also need to, work on ourselves. We also, this is our body. We work on our body. You know what I mean? We don't let it go to trash. You know what I mean? So if we want to create something, for our lives, a good situation or, to get a material thing or, you know what I mean? Like, just pray to God. If it's something that, and, it's more complex, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, imagine, if humanity quit, the government and decided to get closer to God, saved up their money, and shifted out in nature, you know, by themselves or, with, friends and family or, you know what I mean? Like, however it is. And they get on the spiritual path, get closer to God, heal up, hee-haw, live a simple life of happiness, love, joy, fun, celebrations, you know, all the good stuff, you know what I mean? And that's what the government literally doesn't want. That's why literally everyone has trouble getting to sleep, most times because of noise and all this stuff. That's why, everyone's private times are interrupted because the government doesn't want anyone having private times. The government doesn't want us getting good sleep. You know what I mean? So that's why people need to wake up and realize they need to get on the healthy journey too. Get into supplements, look up and research supplements, vitamins and minerals, amino acids, learn about health. The government has created this whole system to oppress us and drain us of our energy. And when you get out in nature, it fuels us, it recharges us, it recovers us, it boosts us. You know what I mean? And God ain't going to allow nature to be controlled. That's why nature isn't really owned and controlled. All these, the government saying that, they own the land and shit, which they don't. You know what I mean? The governments don't own the land. You know what I mean? The land outside of towns and cities people can go into, but it's like the land that the cities and towns are on aren't even owned by the government either. Hee-haw. This is God's planet, not the government's, not the petty governments. The government that's, enslaving humanity and, oppressing humanity and destroying the children, women, and, men of, this country. there are good aliens out there, by the way, you know what I mean? It's not just bad aliens on the planet, you know, trying to harm humanity. There are good aliens out there. The Galactic Federation, which I am a part of, I am an ambassador for humanity, you know, a leader for humanity and an ambassador for humanity for the Galactic Federation. And Aurora Ray, she's also an ambassador of, you know, the Galactic Federation. Hee-haw. She's beautiful. Hee-haw. Hello, Aurora Ray. Hee-haw. And so, you know, the good aliens are actually on Earth currently. You know, I'm one of them. You know, but also, you know, there are, you know, good aliens around. You know, like, you know, on Earth. You know, but in the sky. But also, you know, hanging around outside of Earth and, you know, protecting Earth, you know, and humanity from, you know, all sorts of evil invaders outside of Earth. You know what I mean? So, you know, humanity is being protected by, you know, evil invaders outside of Earth because, you know, humanity's been, you know, Earth has been a target for evil races and evil beings, you know, to use Earth as a means of control and, you know, trade and all sorts of, you know what I mean? Evil, you know, wicked, you know, you know, all sorts of wicked actions, you know what I mean? When it's God's, you know, created Earth, you know, not the devil's, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's the truth. And when you do start detaching from the government may try to, you know, target you, but at the same time they can't. If everyone woke up and decided to save up and then detach from the government and live free and independent, if everyone woke up to the truth and decided to save up and detach and leave the government for good and decide to actually get close to God, your lives will improve. You'll be a lot happier. I have experienced what it's like to live a simple life out in nature and be close to God. And by living out in nature, it doesn't mean we have to go back to caveman times. Like literally, that's not what I'm talking about. Like we can use the modern knowledge and wisdom that we have to take out into nature. And when I say save up and, you know, move out into nature, I'm talking about save up, you know, for all sorts of supplies and materials, and, you know, like, you know, to build your own home, and, you know what I mean, buy the land, build your own home, you know what I mean. That's how God wants us all to live, you know, because by living that way, we're actually being in more connected with nature and more connected with God, Mother Earth and Mother God, Mother Earth and Father God. Oh, you know, because we are quite detached from nature, and everything we're doing, the pollution and the, you know, destruction of the soil, the, you know, pollution of, you know, the pollution of the soil, water, air, you know what I mean? Like everything, like just complete destruction, the way humanity is living at the moment. And it's terrible. Imagine being able to live out in nature with your own place, on your own land. You don't need to have like a massive amount of land, you know what I mean? Like, but you know, God will provide at the same time. Hee ha. You got to pray to God, and God, you know, will provide the land and you know the location, and you know what I mean, because God knows what's actually better for us than we actually know what's better for us. You know, that's why it's important to get close to God, so you can actually get what you actually want. Because we may think we know what we want, but when it comes to God actually gifting us what He you know wants us to have, He knows we will want it. You know what I mean? Imagine not having to pay bills because you own your own land, you own your own property, you know, you grow your own food, you don't need to go to Woolies and all that, you know, every day, you know what I mean? Like, just imagine being free, you know what I mean? And that's what God wants for everyone. Not to be enslaved, in debt, struggling, you know, all this noise, you know, tearing down your health and well-being, all this fucking, you know, all these people, you know, abusing you all day, every day, you know what I mean? Like, you know, everyone goes through it, you know what I mean? Because it is a chaotic fucking, you know, society, town, you know what I mean? State, country, you know, government, you know what I mean? Ruled, you know, fucking, you know, humanity, you know what I mean? Governmental means control the mind. Government, the word government, and this is what the government is actually doing to people. The word government means control the mind or control mind. We are, and that's what the government's doing. They're targeting everyone's minds, everyone's mental health. Everyone's mental health is being targeted. Just today, I had a council, you know, worker, a female council worker, blonde-haired female council worker, approach me and say, "Oh, you know, we're not going to help you. The government's not going to help you. You know, the Darwin government's not going to help you. You know, as in, you know, because the public housing is still part of the government. You know what I mean? You know, it's not going to help you." Hee haw. Not going to help you unless you get a mental health assessment. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting a mental health assessment. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not mentally, you know, unstable. And so that's what the government's been trying to do all throughout life is target people's mental health and get them through the mental health system. The reason why the government wants to get everyone through the mental health system, which is also what these evil ones are doing, is to get everyone through the mental health system to deem them as mentally, you know, incompetent or insane or whatever the fuck. So that way the government and these evil ones can actually steal our land, property and inheritance and anything that, you know, God, had for us. Because they steal our energy and then create all sorts of abundance off it. And so everyone's energy is being, you know, taken daily, all day, every day. Well, for some people, for some people, it's not like me. You know what I mean? It's not all day, every day because I'm, you know, I'm learning to protect my energy. But like, The government has been, targeting humanity and been putting everyone through all sorts of experiments and tests and, trials and tribulations, and the government isn't God. Why the government's harming and oppressing and hurting humanity like this when the government isn't God, and God is literally fucking angry at the governments all over the world for actually doing this to humanity for so long. Because humanity is supposed to be much more advanced and much more further ahead for God's plans of Earth and Mother Earth's plans of Earth than what we are currently. The government has been keeping humanity enslaved and trapped in old, bullshit, karmic, hell on earth cycles of struggle, debt, poverty, what I mean, labor force, enslavement workforce. Pretty much you have to work, otherwise, you struggle or you die. God is giving humanity a choice to stay with the enslavement and the mundane life and the struggling life, or to take a chance, take a leap of faith and save up and leave society and detach from the government and live a free life. Hee-haw. Practice spirituality out in nature. It's a good combination, both of them, because practicing spirituality in society, the government likes to control all of society, like every inch of society is monitored. So you move out in nature and you're not really monitored, and they can't really do anything. They can monitor you, but you know what I mean? You're not as monitored, you know what I mean? Like, God's currently working on God's currently working on taking down the governments of this earth. And so I'm speaking this truth so humanity has time to make choices. You know what I mean? Because as God is taking down the governments and the corrupt ones of earth, they are seeing it as these evil ones are seeing it as a desperate last attempt to try and, harm as many more people as they can. And so that's why I'm speaking this truth, speaking all of this, so humanity can, make their choice. Because the government's not going to tell you any of this, because they want to keep everyone living under illusions and spells and deceit and trickery and manipulation. And the media is good for that, the news is good for that. Trickery and deceit and manipulation working for the government. So yeah, this video is for everyone to think about. I'll be throughout the days and years, I'll be stepping into my destiny pretty soon, and so basically I'll be teaching humanity and guiding humanity about as much about life as I can, and spirituality and healing. Hey. So yeah, I'll be teaching humanity about spirituality and life, but and I'll also be teaching humanity also how to get close, all sorts of ways on how to get close to God and like how to connect with Mother Earth, and because having those two connections, God and Mother Earth, are super important in your life. People may disregard or like dismiss Mother Earth, but to be honest, you're doing it. You're making a bad mistake. You're actually accruing karma and actually putting yourself through a worse life than than you should be. I'm pretty exhausted, and that is enough for this video. Thank you.